Hello and welcome to day 22 on the Pacific Crest Trail. And today has been a pretty wild ride. To go back to last night quickly, we actually ended the day really wholesomely. As we were all tucked up in bed in our food comas, we started sending each other all the photos that we'd been kind of taking of all the moments. And it's been great, like all the different ways that people are recording the trail, either with things like YouTube, like me, or Instagram, or journals. But then all these photos and videos that people have taken of just individual moments that don't make it into those. It was great just to be reminded of little moments and seeing how kind of far we'd come with everyone since the beginning. So that was last night. And then this morning started off with a lovely breakfast where there was a hiker discount, which was amazing. And we actually were chatting during breakfast about kind of the weird kind of dynamic there is in terms of the amount of free stuff that we get as hikers and discounts because we're doing the PCT, which is a bit odd because a lot of us come from quite privileged situations where we're able to take a break from life and save up a certain amount of money to go on this once in a lifetime trip. So it was just another nice reminder of that fact of how privileged we are and how grateful we are for it, but how much more kind of worthwhile things there might be. But we can't solve that problem. But yeah, just a good reminder. And similarly, we then went to get, or later in the day, we got some ice cream, from a Ben & Jerry's store where we got a scoop free, again, just for being PCT hikers. So after that, we packed all our stuff up, we left the hotel, we went to the post office to mail some things after going to a souvenir shop, just to get some little bits for people. And then during that time, we set up a group Spotify playlist. Again, very wholesome activities. So we've now got a little group playlist. Our name is the Ducklings, apparently, because there was this Australian couple that saw us all walking, I think it must have been in like the first week or so, and we were all walking so closely together that we looked like ducklings. That seems to be the kind of group name which seems to have stuck, which is fun. After we'd done that, we then got a free bus to a sports shop where we needed to pick up a few bits like gas canisters, sun cream, just various hiking bits. Unfortunately, there was no luck with the gas canister, which is unfortunate because I had thrown mine away that morning because it was virtually empty, and I thought, we'll be able to pick one up later on. That was not the case, so I'm currently without a gas canister, but my group are very kindly letting me borrow their gas for the next few days while I cook food, so hopefully I'll be able to pay them back in the future. So we got, after that slightly disappointing trip to the sports shop, we then got a second bus to the grocery shop to resupply, except the bus did not stop for another 3 more stops. So we ended up either a 44-minute walk away or waiting for another bus, which would take about the same amount of time. So we got the same bus back after a little wait in a ski resort, which seemed to be closed, but we were able to sneak in and use their toilets, which was a bit of an odd experience. And bear in mind that this morning we'd agreed that the plan would be to sort out all of our little admin bits, get all the shopping done, be out of town, and be on the trail by like 2, because it can't take that long. But after all of that, we didn't get to the grocery shop until about 4 p.m, I think it was. And then, whilst we were packing up all of our food, this lovely gentleman named Walter came along and started just chatting to us. And then he got out a Buddhist singing jar out of his car and played that for us. And he read out some poetry that he'd come up with and just talked about his kind of views on just how the cosmic radiation, and he was a very interesting guy with some really lovely ways of looking at the world, which was great. But sadly, we had to get on the trail, so we kind of left that conversation a little bit bummed that we hadn't been able to get a hitch. We knew we weren't going to be able to do the 7 miles because we would probably be getting to camp at about 8 p.m, so it was looking more like a 2-mile trip. That's when the closest campsite was, and we're all thinking like, we need to get another hitch. When suddenly we were just walking down the street and this lady pulls it in front of us, gets out of her car and says, "Do you guys need a ride?" We hadn't even put our thumbs out or anything. It was wonderful. And so we had another interesting hitch with her. She gave us some great stories that were wild ride to listen to as we were driving along. So we end up getting to the 2 mile campsite after a little bit of a walk from being dropped off back at mile 266. And so got to camp at about 6 p.m. ish, had dinner, set up our cowboy site again, and who knows what tomorrow holds. All I know is that the next few days are apparently fairly chill in terms of ascent. Just the trail is quite nice, so looking forward to that. And then if we can make 40 miles by Friday, there are hot springs to look forward to. So that is something that I think is going to motivate us to get the miles up, especially if the trail's a lot easier. So we'll see how we go, but honestly, no idea what the future holds. But as always, I look very much forward to it, and I will see you there.